Hey there, everybody. Welcome back with the Plat. Purplatypus is the name, and today's build is pure fire. I can't even lie. But before we jump into it, boom. Thank you to my members. Thank you to my supporters. I appreciate it. I am going to keep making videos because you guys seem to be liking them. So thank you very much. If you want to support the Plat, you know what to do. Hit the membership. Become a member. A couple bucks a month will get you all kinds of goodies like shout outs and emotes. And, you know, that's worth a couple bucks a month to some people sometimes, I'm sure. Anyway, let's jump into the video. So this build is straight fire. Now, does that mean it's good? No, not necessarily. But it is cool and it can be good in certain situations. It's definitely a build that you're going to want to use, I think, sometimes, but not all the time. Now, when I say it's straight fire, I mean, literally, this entire build is built around trying to kill the entire enemy team with nothing other than fire. So that's the burn debuff. We're going to try to burn them all to death, get multiple stacks of burn on them, and then make them take that damage many times over the course of a fight until they hopefully all die. So let's kind of go over what are the prerequisites here. So I'm going to go with, as you can see here, I'm starting to only equip items and turn on tactics that I feel like you need for this build basically to work. So if that way, if you pause, like I go over a character like this, you could pause, you could take a look at, these are the items I'm going to be using. These are the gambits I'm going to be using. Items, gambits, items, gambits, items, gambits, items, gambits. There you go. But, so this is going to require you to have a lot of higher level characters. Both elves need to be level 30. So we've got the Elven Sibyl and the Elven Augur. You're going to get them both as you go through the elf zone, and they need to be level 30 to get their elemental roar. Now, why are we using elemental roar? This is maybe the only attack that I've seen. There might be another, but it attacks all enemies and it has no charge. It also is not ground based. So the gladiator I think has one, but it's ground based, and I think the werebear has one or something that's also ground based. I don't quite remember, but this attacks all enemies and is not ground based. And it's actually, what's important also is that it is physical. Now, the fact that it's magical, it's both physical and magical, I think, for the sake of different buffs. But I don't think it'll matter too much for this specific build. But it being physical means we can infuse it. You guys know how I like these PP infusions. I like it when the elf girls get my PP infused. Yes, we all heard it here. All right, first on, which one's your waifu? A or B? How do I do it? A, yeah, A or B? No, A or B. Which one's your waifu? All right, I'm not into elves. I'm more into armored wyvern ladies myself. But here's what we're going to do. So the main idea is, so when is this team good? When is this team bad? This team is good against slow, tanky, hard to kill teams. If they're like 3 gladiators, 2 shamans, this team should be really, really good against them. If they have a lot of really, really heavy dudes that are just slow, that have high defenses that are hard to get through, this team should be good against them. If they can outspeed you, or they have a ton of refresh abilities, ways to remove debuffs, that's when this team is going to really suffer and fall completely flat. So it is not a beat everything build, right? This is very good against, but even if things are like kind of medium speed with only a little bit of support, this could do very well against them as well. But it really is good against the super all-in defensive teams that you might find on certain, like, this is not a PvP build, this is a PvE build, but sometimes they build PvE things that are just fucking hard to kill. And I think that this will be a really good team against that. So the main idea here, as you can tell by our turn order, is we are going to be using Elemental Roar to attack all enemies, and we are going to be combining that with the Flame Conferral. This will add magic damage and burn to the allies' next attack. So this will attack all enemies, and it'll burn all enemies. All right, I also have Hawkeye in here because I want to be guaranteed to hit. A lot of enemies have chances to dodge for XYZ. Maybe they're flyers. Maybe they just have really, really high evasion, and you could miss. So I like having the Sniper Amber Lens on this. And I also want to boost my initiative. And you need to have at least 3 AP to actually throw Elemental Roar. But this character is going to Elemental Roar, burn them all, and then they're done for the rest of the combat. Maybe they'll get a chance to do nothing else with their current equipment. I don't even have a weapon on them because it's not important for what we're doing for this build. Then second turn is going to come up for our character. It's going to be identical to the first. The only difference here is because I have a sniper lens instead. This is not a guaranteed crit, but it is true strike, which is what I care about, which I actually think is better, but I don't have another sniper's lens right now. So they're going to elemental roar. It's also going to get infused. That's why we have 4 PP on our warlock. And then we'll basically have curing heal later in the fight as a reaction if we need it. We're not using Rage of Fairies on either of these characters. This is not a summoned fairies build. I will be doing that one maybe next, but either way, it'll be soon. This is a burn build, and I just so happen to think these characters are maybe the best at them, and we get 2. So after that, turn 3 is going to come up. Let's go over and look at our Wyvern Master here. 2 very important things about the Wyvern Master. On one of them, you're going to be using Dragon's Roar. Again, initiative is so important on this team. You could also use something like Elaine, of course. You could use Gilbert for rapid order and then sniping order, so you don't need the Sniper Amber lens. But honestly, because we're doing most of our damage through the burn status ailment anyway, I didn't really feel like it's that important. However, if you are, I would switch out some. I don't like switching my items around too much because then I ended up losing them and I can't remember where I put them, and then I have to go scroll through this fucking infinite list. But I would go with and add a, this team would love the Angel Plume. Right? Give something basically 70, 80 initiative and then boost the initiative of your back row. Well, they already have more initiative. It's just going to be good. The more initiative on this team, the better. So you're going to want to do something, probably the Angel Plume. You don't need, Dragon's Roar is basically just as good. And you want the Wyvern anyway because they have Fire Breath, right? That is attack a row of enemies and inflicts burn. So because I want to have Fire Breath, and I also want to have Dragon's Roar, I am running 2 Wyverns. You could switch out one of these Wyverns, and you could have this guy just give this guy a PP, make him use Fire Breath, and make him use Dragon's Roar. But another reason why I'm using the Wyvern here is I really like the Silver Trident, right? Lightning Shaker is a attack of row of enemies and inflicts stun. So this is very good, especially because Wyverns have the Wyvern Reigns, which is just really good. For 1 PP, gives you True Strike, which is good, but it also increases the damage. But we don't care about that as much. It's basically more Sniper Lens. But that means we get to Lightning Shaker, stun a row of enemies. I'm targeting the front row here, and it will be True Strike. So this one will attack the front row, and then on my Warlock here, I have him attacking the back row with his Thunderous Strike, which will do basically the same thing, attack them all and inflict stun. So we're trying to stun the front row, trying to stun the back row before the enemy gets a chance to go. And this character is just going to inflict burn with the row with the most combatants. You can min-max this a little bit, try to burn more on the front row, try to burn more on the back row. You know, you might want to change your gambits depending on the enemy composition, because maybe you're doing too many burns in the front row. Maybe you don't need this, you know, Lightning Shaker to actually stun them because you're going fast enough and you want to Fire Breath the front row. You could play with these, right? This is just basically what I have set up for the fight that I'm going into, and overall it's been pretty good. And then we stun. So why do we care so much about stunning? We care about stunning a lot because stun and fire work very well together. Fire and ice do not work together. They're not a non-bow per se, but they don't synergize necessarily. Where if someone's frozen, it basically, if their turn's coming up, it just skips over their turn. If they're stunned, it goes to their turn. They will take 2 proc, you know, their 1, 2, 3 procs of fire damage, and then it'll skip their turn, and they'll basically miss their turn. But they will take the fire damage when they, you know, basically when they're saying incapacitated, they'll take fire damage. Where if they're frozen, it doesn't. It pretends like they don't exist. So we want to get burn stacks on them. We want to stun them, and then we want to stun them, and then we want to stun them. Just keep them stunned, taking burning damage until they die of burning damage. So this build is fire. Very fun build. I like it. There might be more ways to min-max it. Let me know if you have any ideas. Obviously, you can tell I'm not even using weapons on these characters, right? Because that's not the idea of what I'm trying to do here, and I don't think it's necessary to make the build work. But Of course, you could just do more flat out damage up front. You could add some defensive stuff. Just add, you know, here we go. Eagle Eye makes the user's next attack a True Strike. Watchman's Long Spear. I could put that on this character here. Take off that Amber Lens, and then I could put on a different accessory that makes them even better. But you can see here, I have pretty much everyone has Raven Plumes on, or the Wyvern Reins, which is going to give them a little bit of initiative, but they already have kind of high initiative, and then it's Dragon's Roar. So going fast, going first, burn them, and then stun them. That's the idea here. Let's jump into a fight and take a look. Now, I did do this fight 4 times, so hopefully we're going to win it now. Let's take a look. Which one is this? This is the ranked battle number 7. I could probably win a couple of them, but basically I go to the highest level fight that I could easily clear, or that I could figure out how to clear without too much effort with the works with the build. It doesn't work on these top builds because too many enemies have things that are just like straight up affliction immunity, right? If things have affliction immunity, that's just not going to work, and they're also really, really fast once they're getting up to these level 50s. Some of these fights here are just like, or they'll have things that are like, oh, hey, just refresh, right? You know, after your debuff a whole row. So if these teams, it just doesn't work that well against these teams. Again, it's more for teams that are like this, and probably honestly we'll see if we can find a second fight here, but let's get an idea of actually how this team works, right? We'll go through and watch the turn by turn, the play-by-play breakdown. You can even hit Y here if I want, right? Is it Y or X? It's X. You can see Dragon's Roar. All right, lower their initiative. He haste and charge, that's not relevant. All right, Flame Conferral, Hawkeye, the quick curse doesn't matter, and then we are going to attack them all. I think that's more distracting with Elemental Roar. Right, we hit them all, guaranteed, and now they're all burned. That can hit. I don't think that matters at all because her turn is done. Okay, well, it did waste the heal, I suppose. But we're Elemental Roaring again, doing another AoE with a guarantee hit. The other one had a guaranteed crit, but whatever. I don't think burn has a 100% hit chance. I could be wrong, but I feel like it misses sometimes. But there we go. All right. She's going to poison curse. It really doesn't matter. It's only going to affect our wizard. So we have lightning striker. We're stunning the front row. Boom. They're all stunned. And now we're going to fire breath the front row. So they've got burn level 3. We killed one vicariously by them just being there. Now you're going to thunder strike the back row. Boom. You did miss the shaman, which is unfortunate. That might cause us to lose the fight. I don't know. She does do kind of AoE poison, but he's stunned, taking burn damage, misses his turn, burned. That was 60 damage, burned, miss your turn, damage, don't do anything. You're gonna poison curse, not looking great, which I actually don't think is gonna do that much damage. So you're gonna go ahead and stun the front row again. You did miss that time, but it's okay. They're at 22 HP. They're gonna take burn damage and die. Takes burn damage and die, takes burn damage and doesn't die, takes burn damage and doesn't die, and so they're going to live with 12 HP. Compounding curse is going to do nothing as we're not taking any more actions, and then finally his turn comes up again and he takes burn damage and he dies. So that is the idea of what the build is doing. Now we'll take a look if we could just see it on a random normal fight here. Like, let's do like the most classic out of luck miners, right? I actually want to put out of luck miners in every one of my builds just because they're out of luck. They're gonna have to face me every day for the rest of their lives, okay? Which is not long. Their lives are short. Wolfpack, physical attack up. Who cares? All right. I actually don't know if I'll win this fight. There's a chance they kill us, but we'll see. All right. They're all burned. They're gonna all take turns in raging, I bet, right? Yeah, that's you mad, bro? You mad, bro? Here we go again. We're doing low damage numbers. They might actually be able to kill us here. Their enrage might do enough. But still, I kind of want the idea. All right, you stun them. Well, probably not, though, because we could stun the back row, right? They're stun level 3. Ooh, heavy counter. Deflect, though. So it actually worked out. Thunderous strike. Look at this. They're all stunned. So burn, burn, burn. Burn, burn, burn. Burn, burn, burn. Burn, burn, burn. This is so fun. I know this is... There's certain people out there that are like me that are going to play this build, and it's going to be everything they want. Burn, 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 burn to death. God, it's so fun. I'm so happy I did this build. And I actually think I had to recruit pretty much everything just to make this build. But I don't think I need to take anything from this build to go back on my other teams because I have another Wyvern Knight here. So that is the idea of this team. Is it good? Fuck, man. I don't know. Is it fun? Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, it is. Anyway, that is the build for today. I will be doing more builds with the sisters here, at least this one. And I will be trying to do a full-on elemental roar, destroy them, how many fairies kind of build, but that'll be coming up later. Anyway, for today, that's all. Much love for Platypus is for Ploutipus. I'll see you on the flip-flops. Peace out, guys. Bye. I forgot what the button said. There it is. Bye.